Hi guys, welcome back. It's going to be a little review on an item of tackle that I didn't think I would buy again, but I have been accepted onto another water which allows this item of tackle to be used, and you probably know what I'm going to be on about. Love them or loathe them, and that is bait boats. Now, I have not been a massive user of bait boats. A lot of waters that I fish just don't allow them, and to be honest, yes, I can understand why, but it's not the boat. It's normally the dickhead behind them that thinks it's okay to go and poach somebody else's water or stick them straight into snags and God knows what else. So it's not. I have never had an issue with people using bait boats. I've only had issues with the dickheads behind them. With that out the way, I'd been looking for a little while for another boat. Now, I had a wave runner before, and it spent more time in the cupboard than me actually using it. So I decided to buy the bullet and sell it on and use the money elsewhere. This water's come up and they do allow bait boats. Now, when I walked around with the owner, I did notice one particular boat seemed quite popular. Now, I've seen a lot of reviews on YouTube on different boats, but this one seemed to be head and shoulders above the rest. If you didn't want to go out and spend loads of money, now not everybody's got sort of £5,000 to spend on an RT4 with all the bells and whistles and GPS and echo sounders and self-drive and autopilot and God knows what else on it. I just wanted something that went to A to B, that wasn't complicated to use, that was easy to use and was reliable. So I bit the bullet. There we go. You probably knew what it was. So I went out and bought this. Now, I bought this off a guy off Marketplace. Now, his water, he'd not long bought this. I then had a committee meeting. Maybe they'd had some issues. They decided to ban bait boats on his water, and he was absolutely miffed. I was going to say something else then. And so his loss was my gain, to be honest. And this popped up on Marketplace, and it was 180 quid. And it came with the bag, it came with different bits and bobs with it. And he seemed a bit gutted, to be honest, when I turned up. And my first impressions of this boat was how light it was. Now, this water I'm on is not big. It's between sort of 6 and 8 acres roughly. It's not a massive water. I don't think I'd be confident in using a boat like this on a big water because it's so lightweight. I'm not saying that it wouldn't cope with it, but I think it would struggle a little bit. I have tested this. I haven't used it in anger yet, but I have tested it, and I was shocked on how quiet it was. Now, my wave runner wasn't exactly quiet. It was like a whisper compared to the wave runner. But the wave runner, was a lot bigger boat. It could cope with really big venues. This, as I said, I think is ideal for sort of small to medium waters. Hopper size combined, I think maybe 1.5 kilos, 2 kilos at a push. Obviously the back one's gravity fed. I wouldn't be using particles or anything like that in this. I think it'd stick. I think big pellets and boilies ideal. Obviously particle for the middle. As I said, I did test it. It was really nimble. It spun on a dime. It was very responsive. I didn't have to alter the yaw on the boat. It went really true. After about 5 seconds going forwards, the handset beeped. I let go of the control. It just carried on until you want it to stop, and you just knock back. And it was very responsive. It reckons it can go 500 meters. It may do. I don't think I'd like to send this out 500 meters though. I took it out to about 150 meters, 200 at a push. Because it sits quite low in the water, it was quite hard to see. Even with the lights on, maybe it's me, I'm getting old, but I struggled really with it at that range. But to be honest, it's probably very rarely going to go that sort of range anyway. And do you really need to take a bait out that far? Probably not. There's more positives with this boat than there is negatives, but there is a few negatives after really going over this boat that I'd like to pinpoint. And the first one is it doesn't come with any weed guards at all. Now, some people on their reviews recommend to buy the weed guards. Some people say don't because it impedes the speed of the boat, the performance of the boat. I haven't purchased any weed guards yet. I'm just going to use it as is, and then we'll take it from there. The other thing that I don't particularly like about this boat is when you take off the battery cover, your on-off switch is underneath, which is not a big issue, but the wires that connect to this, they're not exactly, well, they're not very thick, put it that way. And also the battery compartment, to get the battery out, is a bit fiddly as well. It's a bit shoehorned in, should we say. And I think if you're heavy-handed, I think you might have an issue with this. Also, I did do a test run with a hopper underneath. As you can see, it's not a massive hopper, and I did struggle a little bit getting the whole rig through the bottom, holding it and then trying to close it. I did find that a little bit of a problem, but something that I'll overcome with use of it and get used to it. But those are the only real negatives that I can come up with for this boat. I think it's extremely well made. I think if you want a no-nonsense boat that's just going to go to A to B, that isn't going to let you down, I'd certainly look at this boat. I really, really would. Now, there's loads of reviews on YouTube about this boat. This is the Mark 4. This is not the one with the GPS and all that on it. I didn't really need all that. And as I said, it's only a small water anyway, so why would I need GPS? But yeah, if you want something that's cheap, cheerful, does the job, that's quite well made. I mean, there's no marks on this whatsoever. It's had very little use, if any at all, really. And as I said, his loss was my gain. But did come with the bag as well, which, to be honest, I'm going to retire the bag, because the bag is, well, it's just a piece of canvas with handles on it. It's a bit of a joke, really. You've got the Bateman logo on it. I suppose if you're not really that fussed, I suppose it's fine just for carrying it around. But for me, no, I've got an old Cotswold Aquarius food bag that's seen better days. It's still okay, but it's seen better days, and I don't use it anymore. But this will fit lovely into that. You got the one-handed controller. It comes with a towel. Really, really simple to use. Does need charging. It does tell you when the handset is running out of juice, apparently. It comes with a charger, and it comes with other bits and bobs. So I think for £180 that I spent on this, I think it's a great little investment. As I said, I'm not a big bait boat user at all. This is the first time that I've been out and bought something this cheap. As I said, I didn't want to go out and spend. You can buy all the boats on Amazon and eBay, which have got sort of flip-up hoppers at the back, and I didn't really want to go down that route. This, I think, for the money, is an absolute bargain. As I said, it does everything that it says on the tin. It was extremely nimble, very, very quiet. There's only a few negatives that I can give about this boat. I know that they do another one which is a lot larger than this, which has got one main compartment, which I did look at. But again, I didn't want to be spending sort of £400 on a bait boat for the amount of times that I would probably use it. It just, for me, it just wasn't cost effective. But for 180 quid, absolute bargain. and I don't mind this sitting in the cupboard for that price. Battery life on these apparently is supposed to be very, very good. The battery indicator apparently is quite unreliable. It gives you an indication, but it's not an accurate indication of what the battery level is. I've only got one battery for this. I may purchase another one, I may not. As I said, I probably ain't going to use this a great deal anyway. But this is how it came when I bought it off him. It's absolutely mint. There's no marks on it whatsoever. Even the hull, there's just nothing on it. I've seen other bait boats exactly the same, and to be honest, they're absolutely minging, and I wouldn't want to be buying a boat looking like that. The first thing I'm going to do is clean it. As I said, this, you can eat your dinner off this. As I said, if he's used it, you know, he's looked after it well, to be honest. But I can't see, it's definitely not had a hard life, and it won't have a hard life with me either. And I do like to look after my kit, so when the time comes to sell this on, maybe I might make my money back, maybe I won't, but I'll lose very little if I do. And let's face it, a lot of these bait boats today, you know, they're massively overpriced for what they are. A lot of them do come from China anyway, especially the internals. The hulls might not be, but the internals certainly are. So if you're in the market for a cheap bait boat that's just going to do what it says on the tin with no fancy GPS, echo sounders, etc., check out the Actor. I think there's a new one coming out this spring as well. I think it's called the Vulture, I think. I did see a little video a few days ago on it. It looks a great boat, to be honest, but again, it's sort of between sort of 300 and 400 quid. And then I think there's another one that they're going to be doing with the GPS, which again is £600. So again, the prices are increasing. This does everything I want it to. I can't see me parting with this anytime soon. But as I said, if you're in the market for a bait boat, check out the Boatman Actor. Cheers, guys.